believe. Keep your duty to Allah and fear Him and always speak the truth. He will direct you to do good deeds and He will forgive you your sins. And whosoever obey Allah and His Messenger has indeed achieved a great achievement. فَإِنَّ خَيْرُ حَدِيثِ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ. Verily the best speech is the book of Allah. وَخَيْرُ هَدِي هَدِي Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And the best guidance is that of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَشَرُورُ مُدَّذَاتُهَا. And the worst things that we can do into this religion is to innovate new innovations into this religion of ours. وَخُلَى بِدَاتٍ دَلَالَةٍ. And every innovation is leading astray. وَخُلَى دَلَاتًا فِي النَّارِ. And every going astray is in the fire. Basically, brothers like myself, we come from Jahiliyyah and a lifestyle amongst darkness upon darkness upon darkness. Myself come from a neighborhood where my family, brothers and cousins were actually the forerunners and the cocaine dealers, the forerunners and the gunslingers. We basically was the forerunners in tearing up our neighborhood. So at a very young age, I tried to figure a way to escape that lifestyle. And one of the ways out for me from out of the ghetto, from out of the hood, was the music industry. When I got myself involved in the music industry, the same lifestyle that I was running from the streets, as far as corruption, treachery, envy, lying, etc., enemies, murders, that same type of lifestyle was waiting for me in the music industry. But in the music industry, it was on a whole other level, because now you have enemies, you have treachery, you have lying, you have deceiving, you have corruption, you have evil. But this is on a whole other level, because now you're dealing with cats with millions of dollars. So when I got myself into the music industry, I figured now that I'm in the music industry, what can I do to escape this type of lifestyle? So many of people like myself and many of the people that's in the music industry, when we leave our hoods, we enter this type of lifestyle and this type of business thinking that this is the ultimate success. When I left my hood, I left New Jersey, I left the hood, and I started to make money in the music industry, I said, this is the true happiness. At one point in my life, I had 3 brand new houses. One point in my life, every 6 months, I would cash in checks for hundreds of thousands of dollars. One point in my life, me and my group, The Outlaws, which was a rap group that was founded and started by the late rapper Tupac Shakur, we had our own record company, and we was making millions of dollars. And I have everything that you might can think that is happiness or any type of tranquility in this dunya, but the only thing I didn't have was happiness. So I tried to figure out what can I do to attain some type of happiness. So once again I started to run, and I started to turn, and I turned to drugs, and I turned to alcohol, and this is my way out to find some type of happiness and some type of tranquility. But I noticed the more drugs that I used, the more alcohol that I drank, when I wake up the next day sober, the same problem still remain with me. The same problem of depression still remain with me. And I used to constantly question myself. How come I have houses? How come I have money? How come I have jewelry? How come I have fame? But deep in my heart, I do not have happiness. And many a times I would get in front of the television and I would smile and I would fake it. And I would go home at night and I couldn't even sleep. I would go home at night and I would lay on my bed and I would question myself, and I said, tell myself, it had to be some type of way of life that can bring me some type of tranquility. Many of us in the music industry to this day, we feel the same. For example, Michael Jackson, he went through the same struggles that I went through, but he didn't know where to turn. He turned to drugs the way I used to turn to drugs. He turned to this type of lifestyle because this was a temporary happiness, or it was a temporary escape for him. But look at the end of his life. So many of us, after a while from searching and searching, and I remember I used to pray to God. At this time of my life, I wasn't upon no religion. I just believed in God. And I used to ask God, and I used to pray to Him from the bottom of my heart, and I used to ask Him, if there's a way of life out there, if there's a true religion out there that you created as your religion, please guide me to that way of life. And I happened to one day be in a recording studio, intoxicated, got to my little brother, to the point where I had to send my little brother to the hospital. We got staples in his head, and it happened to be a Muslim brother in the parking lot who calmed me down. He invited me to the masjid. Eventually I went to the mosque. I remember rolling up there about 20 or 30 deep with my boys because I didn't know what to expect. And I went to the masjid, and I noticed I seen a sense of brotherhood that I didn't see in the music industry. Or I seen a sense of brotherhood from the brothers that I didn't see in the streets. And this is why it's very important as Muslims we should conduct ourselves, the behavior as a Muslim. Because at this part of my life, particular time of my life, I was a kafir, and I was just paying attention to the Muslims because I wanted to see what they was upon. And I noticed the way they treated each other, it was different than the way we treated each other from the streets. So eventually the brother, he gave me literature of Islam, and he gave me the English translation of the Holy Quran. When I took the Quran home and I read it, even though it was in the English translation, I knew for a fact that this book was from the creator of the heavens and the earth. I knew for a fact that this book cannot be written, these cannot be the words of a man. Because I was around poets. I was around an individual by the name of Tupac Shakur who was a genius when it came to writing poems. Before Pac got into the music industry, he was a poet. And he was a genius when it came to writing, so I knew what men were capable of writing. All the answers, all the questions, and all the answers I was looking for was in the Quran. For example, when I was looking for tranquility, like I mentioned, I would turn to alcohol, I would turn to drugs. Allah says in the Quran, truly the hearts find tranquility in the remembrance of Allah. At a very young age, I witnessed death after death after death. When I was 3 years old, many of you guys heard my story before, and I don't want to bore you with the same story, but for those that might have never heard of me or heard the story, when I was 3 years old, I witnessed both of my parents get murdered in front of me. I witnessed my mother and father get murdered in front of me. I also had a bullet wound in my foot at the age of 3. And I remember growing up, I witnessed other family members die. I witnessed best friends of mine, people that I grew up in my neighborhood taste death. And I used to always question myself, why do the people die? Why do people die so early? Why do he die at this time? Allah says in the Quran, verily every soul shall taste death. Everything that I was looking for was in the Quran. All the answer was in the Quran. Allah is my creator. Allah was telling me that the only way I'm going to have success in this life and the next life is to return to Allah. I was running towards everything except for Allah. Many of us, when we have problems, some of us, we forget to return back to Allah. Some of us, when we sin, because all of us are sinners, some of us, we don't return back to Allah. We run towards other way of life, and we depress. Some of us, man, we have other ways to try to get rid of our depression. The only way we're going to have success in this life and the next life, some type of tranquility, is the book of Allah and the Sunnah. There is no other way. Allah is our creator. And if he tells us we have to live our life a certain way, there is no way on the face of the earth we can live our life no other way and think that we will have some type of happiness. Many of us, when we want money, even amongst the Muslims, we don't be patient, we turn to selling drugs. We turn to selling drugs not knowing that Allah is al-Razaq, he's the provider. Many of us, when we want to go get a job, we will compromise our religion just to get a raise at our job, just to get some type of check, not knowing that Allah is the one that provides for our boss. So as the Muslims, man, and I'm speaking to myself first, we have to return back to our religion. And we have to return back to our religion the proper way, because there is no other happiness. I've been there and done that. Everything that you can imagine that the shaitan beautifies some of my life that I was involved in it. Every type of evil, man, it was a time of my life that I tasted a little bit of that evil. So Salami said, for example, so you away the insect has some type of good in it. But when they actually enter that light and that fire, they burn themselves up. The Prophet ﷺ said, I'm holding and grabbing y'all by some of the waistline. And some of y'all are slipping away and running towards me, running past me, going towards that light, running towards that hellfire. That's the same with the Muslim youth. We have the religion of Islam. Allah guided us with the Quran and the Sunnah. We have the truth in front of us. But many of us, we just want to gamble with our life. We want to gamble with our deen. We want to taste that light as if it has something good to offer us. We have to wake up, man. That lifestyle is beautified by the shaitan, but you don't see when the rappers on the video say cut. When they say cut, you don't see after that 5 minutes of them showing their chorus, that 5 minutes of them showing their bling, that 5 minutes of them oppressing the woman, having the woman half naked. They say that Muslims oppress women, man. Before I became a Muslim, man, I was the top dog of oppressing women. If it wasn't for the religion of Islam, I didn't even know that women had rights. If it wasn't for the religion of Islam, I didn't even know that it was bad to call a woman out of her name. I was promoting music that's teaching the people to have no respect for their own mother. And they say that the Muslims oppress their women, man. This lifestyle is